I gripped the letter, my knuckles white, as anger surged through me. The nerve of these people was unreal. The Willow Grove Homeowners Association demanded I yank my boat off my own lake in 48 hours or face a $500 daily fine. They even threatened to tow it at my expense. I couldn't help but laugh at their sanctimonious tone, oozing fake authority. They'd been treating my family's lake like their personal playground for years, and now they thought they could boss me around on my own land? Oh, they were in for a surprise. Where are you reading this from? Drop a comment. I bet you'll love watching these HOA bullies get what's coming to them in one of the most satisfying showdowns I've ever pulled off. I'm Caleb Monroe, and until 8 months ago, I was a burned-out tech guy in Seattle. I'd spent 15 years building a cloud computing startup, grinding through endless pitches and deadlines. When a tech giant bought us out for a sum that made my head spin, I knew it was time to bail. At 42, I was cashed out, exhausted, and craving quiet. That's when I thought of Harper Lake. My great-grandfather, a logger-turned-conservationist, bought the 60-acre lake and its shores in Oregon's Pine Hollow back in 1948, when it was just woods and fields. He built a simple cabin, spending his days fishing and teaching locals to respect the land. As a kid, I'd spend summers there, casting lines with him, soaking in his tales of fighting off lumber companies to save the watershed. "Water's the heartbeat of life, Caleb," he'd say, voice rough but warm. "Don't let anyone put a price on what nature gave us." Those words stuck, even as I chased code and contracts across the country. My dad kept the place up but rarely visited, too busy with his city job. When he and my great-grandfather passed within a year, Grandpa at 90, Dad from a stroke at 65, the lake fell to me. I hadn't been back in years, lost in startup chaos. But in April 2024, I had the cabin spruced up, keeping its woodsy soul while adding Wi-Fi and a decent shower. Moving in felt like coming home. Mornings with coffee on the dock, afternoons fixing fences, evenings drifting in my great-grandfather's old 15-foot fishing boat, beat up, but sturdy, just like him. The lake's calm washed away years of stress. Until the HOA decided to play God. It started on a crisp spring morning. I strolled to the dock, coffee steaming, and spotted a neon green notice taped to my boat. "Violation, unauthorized watercraft," it blared, demanding removal for aesthetic noncompliance and HOA registration. A letter in my mailbox, signed by Victor Hale, HOA president, doubled down with threats of fines. I chuckled, thinking it was a joke, until I called my neighbor, Walt Carter. Walt, a retired welder in his 70s, lived a half-mile down the shore in a house he'd built decades ago. He'd known my great-grandfather and shared my hatred of red tape. "They've been sniffing around since that fancy subdivision went up," he grumbled. 10 years back, they started acting like they owned the lake, holding fishing derbies and all. Your grandpa would have chased him off with a crowbar. That lit a fire. I hit the Willow Grove HOA's website and found a gallery of their elite casters club, tournaments, dozens of folks in pricey gear, posing with fish on my lake. They'd built a temporary dock on my shore, set up tents, even bragged about our pristine community lake. A post hyped their big annual championship that weekend, with a $6,000 prize and a lakeside feast. They'd been trespassing for years, banking on the cabin being empty. I needed legal muscle, so I called my college buddy, Nora Hayes, a land use lawyer in Portland. "They're telling you to ditch your boat on your lake?" she laughed. "Caleb, they're trespassing. You own the deed water." "Sure, all of it." "This is a slam dunk." She told me to hold off on replying, set up cameras, and dig up my deeds. "Let's catch them in the act," she said. I mounted discreet trail cams around the lake, focusing on their event spot, with motion alerts pinging my phone. My dad's files confirmed it. Harper Lake was mine, down to the 20-foot shoreline buffer, backed by a 2012 survey. Curious about the HOA, I RSVP'd to their next meeting, a mass emailed invite. It was held in their gaudy community center, all foam marble and chandeliers. Victor Hale, a slick 50-something in a tailored jacket, ran it like a king, droning about fence colors and trash bins. When he hit "Lake Rules," I perked up. "An unauthorized boat's been spotted," he sniffed. "All watercraft need HOA approval to maintain our lake's prestige." I raised my hand. "Who owns the lake?" The room stirred. Victor's smile twitched. "It's a community asset under HOA oversight." I pressed, "So you've got a deed?" He squirmed, muttering about historical agreements, and rushed to the next topic. I caught him glaring at his VP, Diane Foster, as murmurs spread. Afterward, Tom Bradley, head of the elite casters, cornered me. A tanned 60-something in a logoed cap, he oozed salesman charm. "You're at the old Harper place?" "Thought it was abandoned." I introduced myself as Caleb Harper, the owner. His eyes flickered. "Your great-grandfather was colorful. Join our club, we've got prime lake access." I bit back a laugh, nodding about their Saturday tournament. Over by the coffee urn, I overheard Victor, Diane, and Tom whisper about speeding up the plan and handling the Harper issue. They spotted me and clammed up, but I knew they were rattled. Back home, I found my boat gone, a notice claiming it was impounded with an $800 fine. Furious, I called the sheriff, who called it a civil dispute, and suggested I talk to the HOA. Their hesitance screamed influence. Nora arrived the next day, and we pored over deeds at my kitchen table. "You're golden," she said. "They've got nothing." County records showed Willow Grove's original plans marked Harper Lake as private. Walt dropped a bomb. His cousin at the county saw an HOA application for a luxury resort condos, marina, golf course in my lake. They'd been grooming residents to think the lake was theirs, planning to cash in. Nora drafted a polite letter requesting HOA lake records, keeping our cards close. We'd let the tournament happen, cameras rolling, to nail them. Friday, Victor showed up, all smiles, no jacket, playing nice. "Caleb, let's start over. Keep your boat, no issue. Just sign this, recognizing our lake oversight." The agreement was a trap, handing them control. I played coy. "What about tomorrow's tournament? Or that resort I hear about?" His mask slipped. "The resorts just talk. This is about lake rules." I handed back the paper. "My lawyer's curious about the lake's status." He bristled. "Be reasonable, Caleb. There's money in this for you if you play ball." I asked for my boat. He stormed off, muttering about consequences. Saturday's tournament was a circus trucks, boats, tents, a banner screaming 16th Annual Elite Casters Championship. Nora and I watched from my porch, binoculars in hand. Tom ran the show, while Victor pitched to suited investors, waving brochures of a resort on my shore. "We control the waterfront," he lied. "One holdout, but we're close." Nora filed an emergency injunction, armed with our deeds and cam footage. The judge, seeing clear trespass, granted it instantly. With a security team and a deputy, we crashed the party. The deputy announced, "This is private property. Vacate now." Chaos erupted. Tom fumed. "We've done this for years." Nora held up the injunction. "Harper Lake's Caleb's. You've been trespassing." Victor shouted. "We've managed this lake forever." Nora slapped him with the deed. "You've been lying." Residents turned on Victor. "Our fees paid for lake access," one yelled. Investors bailed, spooked. Reporter Lena Cole, tipped by Walt, snapped photos. Victor's threats, "I've got connections," fell flat as I mentioned my recordings of his investor pitch. By dusk, the lake was empty. Lena's front page story blew up, exposing the HOA's scam and resort plot. At their emergency meeting, Diane floundered as residents demanded answers. Half the board quit. I offered a truce, controlled lake access if rights were respected. The crowd softened, some apologized. My boat was back the next day, with a weak apology from the new HOA head. The county probed HOA finances, sniffing fraud. Victor's investors sued him. He skipped town, later exposed as a con artist with a rap sheet in Texas under a fake name. Diane claimed ignorance, but emails suggested otherwise. I worked with the new HOA, led by retired Judge Henry Walsh, to form the Harper Lake Conservation Trust. It funds maintenance with public permits, keeping the lake pristine. The old tournament site became a community park with a pier and a plaque. "Water is life, not a commodity." Lie Harper. Mornings, I fish in my rustic boat, sometimes with Walt, grinning over how Grandpa would have loved this fight. Nora checks in, proud of our trust. The lake's clearer now, wildlife thriving, proof stewardship beats greed. So what's your take? Was I right to shut down their tournament, or too harsh on the community? Should private owners share resources like lakes, or is that a slippery slope? Did Victor deserve his fall, or was he just chasing a dream? Comment below, like if you're Team Lake, and subscribe for more tales of beating the system.